Hi everyone, so my name's Liz. This is my very first video. I'm based in Nottingham in the UK, and this is far from a perfect setup. It's a very gloomy day outside. I'm in my bedroom and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to start it. Otherwise I'm going to think of a million reasons not to start. So also I wanted my channel to be very honest, real, down to earth. So you're going to see me on the good, bad days and everything in between. So this is the whole point of what I want to do here. So today I'm going to talk about the signs that you're going through a spiritual awakening. So this is based on what I experienced. So you may be going through different things, or maybe very different for you, but from what I've read and what I've heard, I think people go through a lot of the things that I'm just going to talk through now. So number one is you're going to start questioning your beliefs. This can be big societal beliefs, so it could be around work or why we do the things that we do, but also things like what makes me happy, what do I enjoy doing, and this has to be what you really authentically enjoy rather than what society tells you you should enjoy. So that can be quite difficult, and something I've struggled with is worrying about what other people are going to think. So that's been a massive barrier for me on my journey. But you're most likely going to start thinking these things. The second big one is relationships. So I mean, I experienced this in a big way. My long-term partnership actually ended. I started questioning a lot of things in that relationship. I felt like I had my eyes open to not only that relationship, but also my friendships as well. So all my relationships started to feel very unequal, and it was like my eyes had been opened for the first time ever. I was a big people pleaser, didn't have many boundaries in place, if I'm honest, and just thought, wow, all my relationships are really unequal. Um, and what part do I have to play in that? And I lost my relationship, which was massive because, of course, you don't just lose your relationship. We lost the house, we had to sell, had to move. I will go into that in another detail because that's way too big a topic to talk about now. But you can find your partnerships will fall away, friendships will fall away. You might feel distant from your family. So yeah, it's a real big one because the foundations are just completely ripped away from you, and it can feel really lonely and isolating. And what is wrong with me? So I didn't really know about this kind of stuff when I was going through mine. So I didn't have that support or somebody to who knew what was going off at that time. I just thought I'm having a massive breakdown, which I was having a breakdown, but it was definitely, now I look back, a dark night of the soul. So I think that's going to be a big one with a lot of you, and all I can say is it is hard. There's no other way around it really. But yeah, that one, I can go into that in detail in another time because we could be here an hour with that one. So number three, sudden big changes. So this can be things like a loss of job, relationships, which we just talked about, loss of health, loss of money. It can be all of them at once. Another thing I went through. So it can feel like the rug's been completely pulled out underneath you. And it's difficult to navigate, you know, all that old identity that you've been attached to and that you've created your life around is suddenly just no more. So that's a really big sign. If things start crumbling around you, you know, you're probably getting the sledgehammer from the universe that you're on the wrong path, and I certainly did. I mean, when I look back, the path that I was going down was really not aligned with who I am now or who I'm becoming. So I can kind of see why the universe had to step in and go, no, you're on the wrong track. But it is really tough. I've been there and I know. So not to be underestimated, that one. And I'll do probably a video talking around what you can do to help with that, and just know that it's not you. It's just part of the process, unfortunately. those that aren't on your vibration anymore. It's not that we're any better than anybody else. It's just that things are shifting within yourself, and now because of your changing, you're not going to then want to hang around with the same people, because you're not going to have the same interests, you're not going to talk about the same kind of stuff. You'll want probably a bit more depth in your relationships as well. So yeah, I've got a bit more about that later on. Number 4, so what you consume changes. So for me, I stopped watching the news. This was around the time of COVID, and I think a lot of people felt the same. I started looking at the news very differently, and realised it wasn't doing me any good. I was starting to listen to how it made me feel, and that has been a big thing for me. I always look at how people make me feel, things that I consume make me feel. It's really important. And I just made the decision to stop listening to the news. So I don't watch it anymore. My morning will start now with a podcast that I want to listen to and meditation. So news has totally went from my life. Consuming, so what I'm eating. So my diet changed as well. I started noticing that I started getting food intolerances, sensitivities, things like sinus issues, and I suppose that's some kind of allergies as well started coming up in my body. So I had to change my diet. So I cut out dairy. I cook from scratch. I don't eat any processed food most of the time. Occasionally I still do. Tried to cut down my sugar, and I'm saying tried because I'm still on that one, because that one's really difficult for me. And also a real big one for me, and I haven't heard many people talk about it, but I just changed how I dress completely. So I was always a big one. I was quite glamorous. I was always wearing high heels. That's my thing. And I stopped doing that. Wearing more comfortable clothes, more casual clothes. I didn't want to get dressed up anymore, to the point I'd look at my wardrobe and go, this is not me. This just does not align with me anymore. And I've got rid of so many clothes over the past 3 years. My wardrobe is completely different now. So that will be another sign as well. And number 5, dark night of the soul. So again, this is a whole other video really on this, but going through the dark night of the soul, I mean, mine lasted years, unfortunately. I only feel like I'm really coming out and emerging on the other side of that at the moment. So I really went downhill. My mental health went. I couldn't sleep anymore. I couldn't work for a while because it was that bad. I just felt like I didn't know who I was. I know it's a cliche, but my whole identity went, my whole world crashed, my job changed. I had a business at the time as well, and I started to not enjoy that. I got hit by COVID. I got locked down with my partner that we were separating from. I moved 3 times. It was literally everything, and my health on top of it. Lost money as well, so I couldn't work my business through COVID because of the type of work that it was. It was very up in people's faces, so I couldn't work, and I'd got another part-time job, so I couldn't claim for that. So literally everything, and my friendships and everything just went within the period of a year. I lost my dog as well at the time, after my separation. Brilliant, I've still got my dog, and then my dog was ill, got lymphoma. So literally everything from my old life went. Very dramatic, very hard, and I am in the process of still rebuilding from that. So we're in 2025 now, so you can see it's taken a long time. So anybody, if you're going through that, honestly, I totally understand what you're going through, what it's like, how hard it is. I know there's more and more talk about this now. This is being talked about a lot on social media, which is great. We need to understand it and understand what it is, and support others that are going through it, because I wish I'd had more of that support when I was going through mine, and more knowledge really. It's only as the years developed and I started getting into meditation and getting my own advice through, that I started to deal with that better. But hey, maybe this is what I'm here to help with, because if you've gone through something like this, you really know how it feels and can empathise with others that are going through that. So I can say is keep going. I really understand how tough that one is, and reach out to people as well. I mean, there's lots of people now talking about this on YouTube as well. So just put in a search for Dark Night of the Soul, and there'll be lots of people now that are starting to talk about this, which is much needed. And there's going to be more people awakening and going through an awakenings over the next 5 years. So this is only going to get bigger. So number 6. So wanting solitude and alone time. That was one of the things I had to retreat when I was going through mine. Health-wise, I had to retreat, but I had to go off. I had to learn how to meditate, how to be with myself while I was going through this. Meditation was the best thing that I did, I have to say. And again, that'll probably be another video, but meditation is just now part of my life and a non-negotiable for me. I don't get a chance to always do it every morning, but I definitely do it 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a week, and basically whenever I can. And I'll go pretty deep now. Took me a few years to master that, but yeah, wanting solitude, time on your own, and I think that's really needed, to have time by yourself and to understand, to really ask yourself the questions about what you want in life as well. And I've got all my numbering wrong here, so this is going really well, but it doesn't matter, does it really? Numbering, as long as we'll talk about and get the message out, that's all that matters. So number 7, I think. Who cares? We're just going with it. Time in nature becomes more important. So one of the things that really got through my darkest times was going out into nature, going for walks, seeing the animals. So one of the things I developed was a love for horses over my darker times. I've always loved animals anyway, but I found them really, when I felt like I couldn't talk to people about what I was going through, my time with animals was really important and special, because there's just something about, so for example, standing with a horse, they're just so calming, and you find that you're just standing there observing them. Well, I do anyway. Observing their body language and learning about them, and also just getting out and about in nature is just so good for you. So that's one of the things I would say, just try and do more of. Go and spend time out in nature, go and be in the woods, go and be by the sea, whatever really lights you up and you find helpful. But that's one of the things, even, you know, when I hadn't slept the night before and I felt awful, I always used to say, no, I'm going to go out for my walk, go and be by lakes, water, whatever's near you, basically. And the next one, you can't do superficial talk anymore. So I found this was part of the relationship breakdowns. I'd go and meet up with a friend or friends, and I just thought, I just can't talk about what I used to talk about. So, you know, I can't talk about that handbag I want, or them shoes that I want, or the things that I used to talk about. I used to be a real city girl as well, and that was another thing. I stopped wanting to go to the city, moved to the countryside. That's where I am now. So that was another big change for me. But yeah, I really can't do the small talk anymore. Really not interested. I want the deeper connections, deeper conversations now. I'm just a completely different person than I was 5 years ago. So it makes sense that the people that I hang around with are going to be very different as well. So that's how you have to look at it. So, you know, people falling out your life, it is traumatic and it is difficult, but there'll be a reason why. And over time, you'll start to attract in people that are more on your wavelength and more your people. So stick with it. I think we're on number 9 now. So yeah, so intuition. So things like intuition, your psychic abilities can start to come online. Mine really enhanced through meditation. So that was the main thing for me, and just being desperate for peace. I really wanted it, and I was in such a mess mentally. I just wanted my health and my peace. It was like number one. So that's really what helped me persevere. I really, really wanted to get into meditation. I really wanted the peace. And that's really led to all sorts happening from then. So again, that'll be another video, but I started getting things through in meditation, sensations through, messages through. Eventually I started out seeing colours, geometric shapes, then I'd start getting the odd word, then I'd see images. And it's the way it came through is very much so. Funnily enough, I'm in the UK, and I don't know if anyone can remember Inspector Gadget, the cartoon I used to watch as a kid. So it's got a certain theme tune, and I was given that theme tune, and then they said, piecing it together like a detective, and it is spot on. That's exactly what it's like. So the messages that you get through from spirit are very much images, can be a feeling that will come through, the odd word, and it doesn't necessarily make sense straight away, or they just give you little snippets here and there. And so what I did is I started to journal everything that came through my meditations. It's quite hard to remember sometimes what's come through, because it often feels like a dream afterwards. So I have to write it down very quickly. But yeah, I started to get things through, and then it took off from there. And then I started seeing colours around objects, auras, all sorts of stuff. So my intuition heightened. I've always been ultra sensitive anyway. But I'd say my body started feeling things as well. So I started knowing things through my body, or something just wouldn't feel right. And I'd get a lot of anxiety. I'm like, no, that decision that I've just made isn't right for me, or whatever it might be. So I became even more sensitive to these things. And number 10 for me was just a massive desire, I think, to change everything. So I moved to the country. That was one of the things I couldn't do with cities and busyness anymore. What I look for in relationships are different, and work's very different as well. This is a massive one for me at the moment. So I another long story, but I currently have a life coach, which I've been with this lady for about 3 years now. Started off as therapy, and then we moved to life coaching. So I built up my life, and part of the things that I wanted to achieve was move to the country, which I've done, I've achieved. So I'm on number 9 out of number 10, and number 9 is currently work. So you will find that you want to do different work as well, which is part of the reason I'm here. I mean, I am a massive introvert, shy, hate being the centre of attention. I get really anxious with stuff like this, but that just goes to show you the fact that I'm here talking, which is, I can't quite believe myself. Just goes to show you how much I want to change my life. So I've realised recently that I've worked in an office, and I thought I've just got to start doing things differently, because that isn't working for me. That is not my path. This isn't what I should be doing. So this is really a difficult thing for me to do. But if I've got to do something different, then I've got to get out of my comfort zone and find the courage to do it. So I'm hoping that part of this channel, you can see this in real time in somebody that I haven't got all the answers. I've been through a lot, I've experienced a lot, so I can pass that on, but I am still working on tons of stuff. So I'm hoping this will be a bit different, in that you're going to see what I'm currently working on. How's it going? Has it worked out? Has it not? What am I doing? What am I changing? What are my current issues or barriers? So I am going to talk really openly about that. And I think if you're doing something like this, you've got to be authentic and true, because that's what people want at the end of the day. They want somebody they can look at and think, yeah, I'm going through the same things as that person, and I haven't got all the answers. So it'd be really nice to create a community as well from doing something like this, so that we can all comment and share our experiences, share what's worked for us to help each other, because there's going to be a lot more people waking up over the next few years and beyond, and people are going to need help. So it's also the reason I've started this channel. So anyway, those are my signs of going through a spiritual awakening. There's loads to talk about there, loads of more video content to talk about. Certain parts of them, especially Dark Night of the Soul and things like relationships. But I just wanted to share with you what I went through, sort of the big things that I knew there was a big shift going on in my life, and now I can look back and make some sense of it. So I hope that's helpful, and I will be talking on lots of other topics soon, and as I say, lots of real life sharing of what's going on in my life as well. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you on the next video, hopefully. Thanks for watching.